Hello, everyone. Thank God for the opportunity to be in your faces again. My name still remains Rotimi Oyekunle, the servant overseer of His Masterpiece Church, Lagos, Nigeria. You know, in one of the episodes, which I think was the last but one, somebody asked me a question. Is it possible for a father to be lost? Because I dealt with the reaction of the father to the two sons last episode. So I answered and said it is very possible. And I will prove that to you in 1 Samuel chapter number 2, verse number 13 or 12. Oh, yeah, verse number 12. First Samuel chapter number 2, verse number 12. It says, "Now the sons of Eli were corrupt. They did not know the Lord." Now the sons of Eli were corrupt. They did not know the Lord. Now, we've been talking about being in the house. So we're still in the house. We're talking about lost in the house. We looked at the lost son that was outside of the house. We looked at the lost son that was in the house. Now we're looking at the possibility of a father being lost. Now I want to put on record, I'm not talking about God. God can never be lost. The father I'm talking about is the natural biological father. The natural biological father. So some of you that are listening will not say, "Yay, that's heresy. God cannot be lost." So I'm not talking about God here. I'm talking about our natural fathers. It's very, very possible for a father to be lost. And why did I say that? It was Eli's responsibility to bring up his two sons to know the Lord, because they were with him in the house and he was the high priest and he had been bringing them up. But despite the fact that they were seeing their father do something, they did not walk in the way of their father, and they lived their life in a very corrupt manner. And that was one of the things that made God judge the house of Eli. Now in verse 22 of that 1 Samuel chapter number 2, you will see that the Bible says, "Now Eli was very old, and he heard everything his sons did to all Israel, and how they laid with the women who assembled at the door of the temple of meeting. So he said to them, 'Why do you do such? For I hear of your evil dealings from all the people. No, my sons, for it is not a good report that I hear. You make the Lord's people transgress.'" And he continued. But you will see that in verse 26, it says, "And the child Samuel grew in stature and in favor, both with the Lord and with men." Now, there was another son that God introduced into the equation to reveal the fact that Eli, who was supposed to be in the house, but at the same time was a father that was lost, in the sense that his responsibility of raising his children, he did not fulfill very well or handle very well. Now, I'm sure you'll be saying, "But what are you trying to say?" I'm trying to say that a father can be so busy to neglect the raising of his children, to assume that because they follow him to church, they are saved. Or to assume that because they are around him, they should actually be understudying to see what he is doing and do it without his intentional or being intentional about raising them in the way of the Lord. So they were in the house but lost because they did not have a father, they had a priest. I want to deal with this a bit more by talking to many of us who are in ministry, who go all over the place and neglect our families. You are what I will call a lost father. You might be functioning very effectively in ministry. You might be functioning very effectively in your calling, but you are missing in the very important one, that is your legacy, which is your children. Eli, as a priest, was successful in his personal ministry and dealings, but in his role as a father, he failed. Because when his children grew up, the opposite of what he was always telling them to do was what they continued to do. Until God, who cut his lineage and brought in Samuel to replace Eli as priest. Listen to me, minister of God. Listen to me, young minister. Listen to me, servant of the Most High God. It is one thing to be a servant of God, but it's another thing to be a father. And you know, I saw that in that story. The wife of Eli was not mentioned, either because there was something that in Eli's dynamics did not see the importance of a mother, did not see the importance of a wife, because he was engulfed in what he was doing. One of the evidences of being lost as a father is when you become too engrossed in what you are doing and everything is all about you, and you are losing your family. Because of time, I want to end here, but I want to leave this with you, and I will deal with it a little bit more deeper in the next episode to let you know that there is nothing worth losing your family over. Till I come your way again, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may the love of Jesus continue to shine upon you. God bless you. See you again.